Most terrorist attacks last seconds, but the attack on Mumbai was different. This is the inside story, told by the people who found a way to survive.
Gunshots had just erupted, automatic weapon fire through the front door of where we were.
We ran into the kitchen and we hid behind a counter in the kitchen. You know, things changed significantly when the door opened and the gunman actually came in.
We figured all the time that we were alive because they just hadn't found us. We just had to be as quiet as possible. Everybody switched off the lights, drew the curtains, switched their phones to silent.
The power of a gun is something that I had never imagined. He didn't even have to say anything, he just gestured to us to move.
Like, honestly, what do? You can't get out of the building. This is the only place you can stay now. We're under siege now. This is really, really serious.
At that very moment, he started shooting. The shells were raining on my head, on my body.
So, I told to my husband, Seifi, we're gonna die anyhow, let's pray for the dead.
So we stepped forward, opened our hands, and spoke our prayer.
They seemed to be everywhere at once. You would hear gunfire down the hall, but the next minute you'd hear an explosion outside the door.
It is a terrifying sound. I've never experienced gunfire and I've never experienced grenades or bombs, and it is the sound of death.
So I didn't want my being next to my wife to further single her out, and I looked at her and I said, listen, I love you, I want to be with you, but these guys come through the door, we're splitting up.
I try not to think about the what-ifs. I try and remind myself how incredibly lucky I am to have got out.
But I find it to be a miracle that I survived with my wife. Yes.